thrilled to bring the next performer up on the stage. She's someone who has, in my Femme generation, like done so much to spread stories and knowledge of what Femme can be. Anna Camilleri has a really long and luscious bio because she has a long and luscious art career as a Femme cultural worker and provocateur. She's performed and read all across North America in theaters, festivals, universities, and houses of ill repute over the past 15 years. She's a founding member of Swell with Yvonne Coyote and Lyndall Montgomery, which is the reiteration of Taste This, which some of us will remember as the collaborative performance troupe that toured around this country from 1995 to 2000 and co-authored Boys Like Her, Trans Fictions, which I know for me was one of the first places that I saw Femme stories that felt like me. Camilleri is also the writer and performer of one-woman shows Still Breathing Fire and Sound Siren Red, author of the critically acclaimed memoir I Am a Red Dress, editor of Red Light, Superheroes, Saints, and Sluts, and co-editor of Brazen Femme, Queering Femininity. She is currently working on 2 book-length manuscripts, producing a swell multi-city Canadian and American West Coast performance tour slated for October of this year. You can find her at annacamilleri.com. She has the most gorgeous curls of many women I've known. Please give her all of your love and appreciation. Anna.
I swear, I remember that day, even though I'm not yet 2. My grandfather is biting into a tomato as though it were a peach, juice and seed slipping down his chin. My grandmother looks on approvingly from the shore, hands on her hips, varicose veins wrapping her legs like fishing net. She's praying to Allah. My dad whispers, always remember where you come from, Anare. We're island people. Then he releases me into the sea and says, now swim to me, baby girl. Swim. If one picture were to tell our whole story, neither one of us would be in it. The picture would be of the sea, just blue upon blue, upon blue, upon green. Father and daughter, bound by salt and earth. Moving pictures. I'm 10 years old and my long wet hair hangs like a sheet in front of my naked body. My mother believes that someday I'll treasure this photo in which I've been modeled to look like Lady Godiva. She instructs me to stand sideways and turn my shoulders towards the camera the way the models do. The sooner you just stand and pose, the sooner the whole damn thing will be over with, eh? But I've never been very good at doing what I was told. Oh, God. That picture. I'm 13 and I haven't yet figured out that my hair must not be brushed under any circumstances. Right? I had nothing to do with that hideous fuchsia pink and black plaid dress with a bow at the neck. Never. No. I mean, my mother still had dominion over my wardrobe, and she confused me for a life-size doll and not a prepubescent girl with newly minted breasts and low self-esteem. My shoulders are rolled in, and I'm wearing 2-inch kitten heels that I haven't yet learned how to stand in, let alone walk in. Oh. And then there's the photograph on my fridge door. Me with my lover in it. I'm wearing a long black dress with a deep V. One of my legs is hiked up onto the back of the couch, revealing torn fishnets, the tops of my garters, and just the curve of my ass. Hair fans wildly about my face. That is full of mischief or a secret. Now, my mother commented on the photograph several times, how much it reminded her of herself when she was younger. She asked me for a copy of it once, and I told her that I didn't have the negative, which is true. But then it went missing. You know, and I assumed that it had slipped and gotten lodged in that space, that little slip of space between the fridge and the counter. I never thought anything more of the picture until, well, until I was visiting my parents for dinner. I wandered up into my old bedroom and saw the missing snapshot. It had been enlarged. It had been enlarged to an 8.5 by 11 copy, laminated, and mounted in a wooden frame with a sun and moon motif at the top. You know the ones. Sitting on my old dresser door for anyone to see. Now, I imagine my mother giving people a tour of the house and, marching them through her ceramics collection and then promptly over to the photograph, the missing photograph, the memorial, as I've come to think of it. What would they say? What would they think as they look at the curve of my ass, my garters? Oh, your daughter is a dominatrix. How nice for you. Yes, we can see she's very well endowed. You know, I don't really care what would be seen or even thought, but I do care, that they probably wouldn't know that they were seeing a picture of the elusive queer daughter who's been off the family invitation list for 20 years. When I came into my 20s and then my 30s, my mother was questioned with increasing urgency, is your daughter married? Dating? Where is she, huh? Like, why don't we see her anymore? Oh, and my mother would answer vaguely. You know, kids today, they're so involved with their careers. This is from a working class mom, right? Like the word career. Anyway, careers. It's like daytime, all my children, all of a sudden. Soap operas. I couldn't believe that my mother had stolen it off my fridge. I really couldn't. And something needed to be done. And the something would not involve a shouting match with my mother about betrayal and theft and to add salt to the bitter. Just why my lover, who was in the original photograph, had been cropped out. I slid the picture into my bag and tiptoed back downstairs and took my seat at the table. My mom throws the kitchen towel over his shoulder with a flourish. What took you so long, hey? You repainting the bathroom? You snooping around up there? What isn't visible in the stolen picture is this. My lover was at the other end of my boot. Devotional utterances spilling from her lips, followed by goading questions about the terrible things she hoped I might do to her later. I'm not sure when I became aware of the camera, but when I noticed my friend taking photographs, I wanted her to record us. I wanted to be seen in that room on that night so that someday I might remember it. The picture's sexy, yeah. But that's not what's remarkable to me, and that's not why it was on my fridge. I remember how the four of us carried on that night, the night the photograph was taken. We weren't posing for each other. We were being family. Without stupid femme in the sheets jokes and diminutive stereotypes. Where I could use the word femme, as shorthand for heart, mind, spirit, culture, history, blood, spit, sweat. And they would know exactly what I meant. Because none of us needed to be weak in order for the others to be strong. Mm-hmm.